let's begin our practice. So a couple of things to keep in mind once you start working with chairs is that sometimes chairs are too short or too tall, or our legs in proportion with the chairs can be too long or too short. So let's say your legs, your feet don't actually touch the floor, or they barely touch the floor. You can put a couple of blocks or a couple of books of the same height underneath your feet. That can be very helpful because you are able to root and press your feet on the floor in all the exercises. It's very important to ground. Also, it can give you some slack on the hip flexor, especially if you have some tension going on there. The other thing to keep in mind is that ideally for me, I don't use the back of the chair. I don't really want to lean back and slouch. We are meant to sit on the sitting bones, which are the bones right underneath your seat on where your glutes are. So underneath your glutes, you have this two bones on each side, and you want to be able to sit right at the middle of the sitting bones, which usually when we spend a lot of time seated, we kind of sit behind them, meaning that we might be sitting right behind the sitting bones or right on top of the sacrum, which is a triangular shaped bone at the end of the spine. We want to send the weight forward. What happens here, okay, is that we tend to, in this position, we really overstretch the muscles on the back. So this area gets to be more open, and this area gets contracted, gets closed. Here we have internal organs. We have we have the lungs, we have the heart, we have the internal organs in the abdomen, and also we have our breathing muscles. So if you are doing exercises or spend a lot of time seated like this, you're really shutting down or not giving the internal organs the proper nutrition and breath that they need, and you're breathing way shallow. All right, so make an effort to sit right in the middle of the sitting bones, that you feel the muscles here and the muscles here are just hugging you in, they're supporting you. If you get tired of sitting that way, or you find yourself slouching, well, then just do a little bit of movement and then come back into the seat. All right. So if you need some extra cushioning, or if you need to roll a blanket, you can do that. For some of us that we kind of slouch a lot, that we are like kind of tucking the tailbone between our legs, I like to get a blanket, and then I roll the blanket and I make like kind of a horseshoe shape, and then I put it on the chair. So these are the prongs, and on each prong, I'm going to put my sitting bones, okay? So I'm gonna sit, and I end up sitting a little bit upright, and this is keeping me in that nice position with my pelvis in neutral, and I'm not slouching. It's harder to slouch in this position. So try different ways of be seated and exercising, because we don't really need to be all the time in the same position, but as long as you're in a very nice functional position, that's okay. If you like to put music to accompany the practice, you can do that as well. I'll be offering you options along the way, and I invite you to do not 100% effort. Do less, do a little bit less, and there's some room for enjoyment. There's a room for feeling relaxed about it. You have total control of what you're doing right now. There's nothing to be gained by doing 100% or no pain, no gain. Okay? This should be an enjoyable and breathable experience that you like it so much that you want to repeat it. Okay? So enjoy it, and feel free to make changes to this practice so you make it even more enjoyable. All right? So find your seat and take a moment to ground, to feel the palms of your hands on your thighs, to lengthen the spine, maybe to reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Allow your eyes to close and soften right at the space between the eyebrows. Soften that area. Soften the jaw and all your facial muscles. Feel the air entering through your nostrils, traveling into the throat area, inflating the chest, the belly. Just feeling the breath breathing you. We're going to unite breath with movement. And the most important part is the breath. So you breathe and you move. And if you notice that there's a movement that takes your breath away, just do less with that movement so it is still breathable. All right? So as you inhale, take your arms out and up and go slow. And as you exhale, bring your arms down. Allow your joints to be soft, your elbows, your wrists, inhaling. Take as much air as you can and exhaling. Now, for those of you that you might have some shoulder issue going on, you could inhale and open the arms out this way and exhale. So you're inhaling, opening, exhale back, hands to heart. Again, either way, breathing in and breathing out. Let's do one more. This one, we're going to place the palms up right at the area where the belly button is. Inhale, reach your arms up. Turn your palms down and exhale, press your heels on the floor. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, place your heels on the floor. One more time, inhaling. So you want to feel the power of your legs and exhaling. Good. Inhale, one arm reached forward and up. Exhale, almost like you're moving in water. So there's a lot of fluidity and there's a lot of softening of the joints, the other arm. The wrists are soft. And then inhale both arms. The arms become accessories for your breath and exhale. One more set. Inhale, one arm. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. This time we do it with both arms. Breathe in. And breathe out. So now we're going to bring hands on the opposite on one knee. Okay? So we're doing a little twist here. Your torso is twisting towards that front knee. And same arm to knee, you're going to open arm out to the side and then back to center. So you're inhaling and opening, you're twisting and exhale. You can do it like that with your arm reaching and twisting. You only go to the range of motion that feels breathable. You can keep your hand maybe on your heart and you just twist that way. One more time. Good. So we're going to the other side. And just feel that twisting action. You're already twisting. We're just adding a little bit more. Inhale. So the same arm to leg. Inhale, you open. And exhale. One more time. We're going back to the first side. So this time, so we're warming up these muscles. Inhale, you're going to open. Now, you have options. You can stay right there. You can reach for the chair, the back of the chair behind you, or the seat of the chair. That's going to help you kind of twist a little bit more. It's a little bit more, but not too much. Now, as you're doing this, move your head side to side. Keep breathing. Good. Let's come back to center. Now we go to the second side. So you're opening the arm, and then you can bring your hand on the chair. If you have a wall nearby, you can put the hand on the wall. And then find your twist, and then move your head just making sure you're not compromising the neck. And then at some moment, you can just pause in the position that feels the best for your neck. One more breath. And then release. And just pause for a moment. So take your shoulders up, inhale, and exhale, take them back and down. Inhale, reach your shoulders up, exhale. Inhale and exhale 2 more times. Last one, breathe in and breathe out. So if you have the back of the chair available, you can bring your hands behind you and you're bending your elbows, bring your elbows in towards each other, like you're squeezing your shoulder blades behind you. Press your feet on the floor like you want to stand up. And then reach your chest up. Breathe here. So we're opening up into the chest area. We're hugging those shoulder blades in towards each other. You can move your hands down or up and release. We're going to do it one more time. So if this was helpful, the hands behind or your hands on the seat of the chair. Some of you might have long arms, and that can be a better way for you. So you press the seat of the chair down to open up the chest into a mini back bend. You can hug the elbows in towards each other, reach your breastbone up, maybe look up. Take one more breath. And release. All right, inhale, reach your arms out and up. Now exhale, we're gonna go into a forward fold. Hinge at the hips and forward fold. It doesn't matter if you get your hands on the floor or your legs. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, release. I'm gonna show you on profile. So you inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, hinging at the hips, engage your abdominals towards the spine. So you can have your hands here, on your shins, on the floors. You could put your hands on blocks. You can release your head. Inhale, come up. All right? So we're gonna do that a few more times. So find the most comfortable position to do this. You can have your feet slightly wider. Inhale. And exhale, so hinging at the hips. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, arms release down. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. Hinge at your hips. Pull your abdomen towards your spine. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, release. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come up. And exhale, release. Take a moment to pause, to feel, to breathe, to enjoy. Maybe you feel some tingling, some circulation, maybe more breath, more awareness, more pleasure. So we're going to do a movement, a posture that it's addressing the hips, especially the outer seam of the hips. I like to start with my legs fairly straight, and I'm going to bring one ankle over the opposite thigh. So for some of us, this is plenty, and you're already feeling it, and you can just stay here. If you don't feel anything going on your glute, the outer seam of your leg, then you're going to bring the other foot in, okay? And there it is. I feel it. You can stay right where you are. You can hinge at the hips and fold. And I'm going to show you a couple of variations, especially for some of you that you're doing this and you're like, I don't feel anything. So if that's you, you can take your block, okay? So you're going to have the standing foot on a block, and the other ankle over your thigh. And this can increase the sensation. Now, if you're sensitive on your knees, you're going to be flexing your ankle. Okay, so when you look at the inside of your foot, it's flat, there's no wrinkles. That means that you are activating that ankle joint without sickling your joint. And that protects knee and protects your ankle. So you can stay here or you can fold. So we're going to be in this pose about 5 breaths. Make your breath long. Enjoy your breath. You can always come out before, or you can stay longer if you're really enjoying it. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Now we're going to release. And let's do the other side. Okay? So other ankle over the thigh. Remember to activate the joint, the ankle joint, flexing the foot, protecting your knee. Good. You can stay here. You can hinge at the hip. If you don't feel it, put a block under your standing foot. And find that nice edge. That place where you're feeling it. You're not bored. It's not a dulling sensation. You are feeling it. But at the same time, you're breathing. You're enjoying it. Your facial muscles are relaxed. And let's take 3 more breaths here. Let's take 1 more breath. And then release. Okay, so we're going to pause. Have the feet hip bone distance apart. Close your eyes, feel, enjoy. When you're ready, we're going to open eyes. So we're separating the legs slightly wider this time. So I separate my legs wide and I turn the toes out, but I don't want to turn them too much out that my knees are not happy. So when I look at my feet, let me move this out of the way. When I look at my feet, they are the big toe and the second toe, they're going in the same direction as my knees. A lot of times what happens is my knees are going this way, this angle, and then I go into a super ballerina mode, and my foot goes way further. So that means that there is kind of a neurosis between your knee and your ankle. These joints need to support each other. But yeah, now your ankle is going that way, your knee this way, the knee is going to suffer. So please, please, please have the same direction of your knees and the second toe next to the big toe. All right? So inhale, you're going to lift your heels off the ground. And exhale, you're going to press the heels down onto the floor and lift the toes. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, heels down, toes up. All right? Inhale, lift the heels. Now, when you exhale, press your thighs down and lift the toes. So you're pushing your thighs down towards the floor. Keep that resistance, okay? Inhale, lift the heel. So there's some resistance here as well. And exhale. So you're strengthening also your arms besides your legs. One more time. Inhale, lift your heels. And exhale, pause. We are going to go into a circular motion with our torso. And I invite you to keep your torso straight, so we're not slouching. So what we're doing right now is we're going to one sitting bone, to the back, to the other sitting bone, and to the front, okay? So you're rolling on the pelvic floor, on the pelvis, with the spine straight. We're going to do variations of this for those of us that like the arching and the rounding. Now change the direction and just notice how it feels in your body. Maybe you have areas that feel tight or sticky. There might be soreness, and when there's pain or discomfort, you don't want to go into more ranges of motion that will create more discomfort. Keep it at the same level of discomfort or less, okay? Now, inhale, you're going to arch the spine, look up, and exhale, you're going to round like slouching. I'm going to show you on profile so you can see what I'm doing with the spine. Inhale and exhale, and keep going. These are movements of our spine that we are designed to do. These are healthy movements that our vertebrae need to be doing, right? So they say we are as healthy or as young or as old as our spine in terms of the flexibility. So increasing this movement, and you can start very slow and very small. Be patient. It's all an invitation. All right? So now from here, come back to your center. So you're in the center of your sitting bones. We're going to place one hand on the thigh. It could be a hand. It could be your elbow. All right? And then inhale. The other arm goes up and over. And you reach. And then exhale. Let's do the other side. So the hand or the elbow. Inhale. And exhale. So I want to tell you something that's really important about this particular movement is from here, from your pelvis down, we're rooting. And from here up, we are lengthening. What happens when we do this movement, and I'm going to exaggerate it, is as I go up, you see how it's easy for this hip glute to lift? I want to do the opposite. I want to make sure it's rooting down so I get to feel more opening, more sensation. All right? And press both heels on the floor. Okay? Let's keep going. So either the hand or the elbow. I'm going to show you also another variation here. You can put the block. It's up to you. But make sure that your crease of the hip, it's rooted. So the next time you're going in one direction, we're just going to pause. And inhale, take your arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, take it behind you. So you can tuck it behind you. You can hold on to the back of the chair. Engage your abdominal. So you want to hug in here, but then turn your chest maybe a little bit up. Press both heels equally onto the floor. Draw the shoulder blades away from your ears. Take a couple of breaths. One more breath. And let's come back to center. Just notice how that side feels. Bring the other arm, elbow or hand on block. Reach up and over. Notice this side is different. Maybe you have more space. Maybe there's a little bit more resistance. Maybe you're crunching that side more. And just take the arm up towards the ceiling and take it behind you. You can create some sounds. You can like, that's a sign when you are using vowels like an ah. It can help you release. It can help you relax more. Breathe. Keep engaging abdominals, turning the chest up. And let's come back to center. So if you want to rest, take your legs forward or fold your legs in. Just take a moment to pause, to feel your breath, becoming aware of it. So the next posture we're going to do is extending One leg out. So here, it's optional because some of us might feel a lot of sensation. If your elbow is able to turn the toes of the back foot forward like this without any discomfort, then do it like that. For some of us, might be a little bit tricky if your knee stays bent or if you have to turn the foot out. It's totally fine. And because the pelvises that we have, they're different. So some people can really open and some of us cannot. Now the other foot, it's turned out like this, like a 90 degree. So you adjust yourself. This is like a warrior two pose in yoga. And you can even move back. So it's your whole thigh on the chair and the other leg is off the chair. All right. And extend your arms out to the sides. You can look past the fingers of your front hand. So take your shoulders up towards your ears, take them back, take them down. Breathe here. And I want you to bring attention to your back hand, the one that you're not looking at, and put some energy there, like you're reaching back. Put energy on the front arm, like you're reaching forward. So you're pulling your arms away from your torso, but you're hugging those shoulder blades in towards each other and draw them away from your ears. So your upper back is engaged. I know we're holding it for a while. You can always come out of this posture. Now, you're going to bring the back hand at your thigh. The other arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling. Inhale and get tall. And exhale, maybe a little bit of a side bend. All right? Now, press the feet on the ground. Press the heels on the ground like you want to stand up. So we're firm in those muscles. One more breath. Come back to your warrior two. Now we're going to extend forward. Keep your length on the spine, right? We're not crunching. Hand can be on your hand, on your thigh, or elbow on the thigh, or use your block. Take your other arm up and reach. And see if you can connect with the back leg, back foot all the way at the side of the torso and the arm, like a one line of energy, okay? Breathe here. Enjoy it. You can always change what you're doing. It doesn't have to, nothing has to look perfect, but it has to be enjoyable. And it has to be accompanied with your breath. You take your breath everywhere you go. Come back to center. Good. And then pause for a moment before we go into our second side. So you're going to relax your hands on your thighs, root through your heels, close your eyes. How does this side feel? The side I just really worked. How's my breath? What sensations do I feel on my skin, in my body? And let's do the other side. So we're taking the leg out, turning the toes forward, and the other knee opens up. So you can move back. So what's on the chair is your thigh, okay? Sides are different. I already feel a big difference between this side we just did and this one, okay? So take your arms out. And there's an energy of your arms reaching away from your core, but then you're hugging them in through the shoulder blades. Draw them away from your ears. Get tall. Engage your abdominals. Get really solid here. Like you're rooting. You have the strength. You have the power. And you're embody this with your breath. So let's bring the back hand at the thigh. The other arm is going to reach tall. Inhale and get taller. And you can stay right here, or you can go a little bit into that side bend. Come back to center. Now we're going to reach forward. Elbow on thigh or hand on block, any variation. And reach your arm overhead. Lots of breath. Surround this posture with your breath. Let's inhale, come back to center, back into your warrior two. And release. All right, let's bring the feet forward. And pause again. Close your eyes. So let's open eyes. We're going to try to lift one knee up. Just try it for a moment. You take one knee up and then you bring it down, and take your other knee up and bring it down. So the action is one knee at a time. And to make it a little bit trickier, we're going to use opposite arm to knee. So it looks like this. Inhale, one knee on the opposite arm lift, and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And let's keep going. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's do that one more time on each side. Breathing in, long breath. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, take both arms up and see if you can lean a little bit back, and maybe you get to lift both feet. It's okay if you touch the back of the chair, and then bring your arms down and your feet down on the floor. Let's do one more set. This time we're going to add the straightening of the leg if available. So it looks like that. So you can lift the knee and keep it like that, or lift the knee and extend the foot. Okay? Inhale, opposite arm to leg, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale. Last one. And exhale. Now, we're going to lift the heels so we are in the tippy toes. And then take your arms forward or take your arms up. Up is a little bit harder. And you want to be on the sitting bones. You're leaning back, and see if you can lift your feet off the ground. And you're bringing your knees to your chest. You can take your arms. You can maybe see if you can straighten your legs a teeny bit. And then release. Okay, very nice. Let's do some rolling. And you can have your feet hip-bone distance apart. You can have your legs wider. Let's go the other way. Good. So the next exercise we're going to do is for our feet. You know, one thing that happens with our feet if we don't use them and we spend most of our day in shoes is that the toes get very close to each other, like sardines in a can, and they don't move. The good news is you can make a move. You can really start activating them because we need our toes. The toes are for helping us walk, be stable, for mobility, for propelling ourselves forward. We need our feet to be healthy. And even if you look at your feet now and you're like, my feet don't move, my toes don't move, trust me on this, they do. You just need to send that message from the brain to your toes, and they will start moving. And it's really important because our awareness of space depends a lot on the proprioception, which is that awareness of space that we have at the ankles. So it's very important. So there's one exercise that I really, really like. It's been very useful for lots and lots of people that I work with. And it's great for balance. It's great for avoiding shuffling your feet when you walk. Because if you shuffle your feet, chances are you might trip over your own toes. In general, when people fall, they do fall by tripping over their own toes, not an object. So I want you to lift your toes off the ground every time you walk. Every time you're going to step, your toes are off the floor. Okay? So I want you to try first to look at your feet And keep the heels on the floor and lift one foot by keeping the heel on the floor. Okay, and then put it down and lift the other. So on profile, it looks like this. So you're moving your ankle joint to lift your feet. Okay, so now get really good position for your pelvis. We are going to lift the front of the leg, the foot, the front of each foot, and like you're pushing the floor away with the balls of your feet. Now, by now, you should feel it right here. I hope so. That means you need this. Okay, so these are muscles. This is a muscle that is in charge of picking up your feet from the ground, activating. So this is a really good exercise to do every single day, especially if you're feeling it right now. After you get tired, you can take you can cross your legs, or you can hold it, and you're going to roll your foot in a circle. And then you're going to roll it the other way. And then let's change. We're doing another set, by the way, because we just did a few seconds, because maybe it was very, very intense. So the next one we're going to do, we did this one straightforward like that, but now you're going out and in, out and in, out and in, okay? I already feel it. These are very, very unused for me. So out and in, and you push the floor away. And after you do, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds, then you pause, bring your foot up, roll your foot in a circle. And then you roll the other way, get the toes to spread. And let's do the other one. Any variation, but you do want to finish rolling your feet, and then the other way. Good. Last thing is look at your toes. And you can lift your toes off the ground, spread your toes. And notice, do my toes separate? They have space between each other? Maybe one foot has that and the other doesn't. And then can you bring the big toes towards each other? And then set the big toes down. And then with the big toes down, can you extend the other toes away from each other, like the little toes moving out? And then can you bring the little toes down? Now you have 3 toes on each foot off the ground. No worries if you are not even close to doing this. You keep talking to your feet, to your toes, and then set all the other toes down with space between them. Good. Now, notice if you're collapsing on the inner arches of your feet. Put some weight onto the center of your heels. And see if you can activate your arches, like you're lifting the arches of your feet. Good. And then release. Now, if you can, or if you want, you can massage your feet after this nice work. There's so many muscles on our feet. There's so many joints. It's a very complex structure, okay? But we want to be talking to our feet. We want to have those toes to move, to articulate, and they're going to keep us upright, walking, and balanced. All right. So take a moment, pause, breathe, enjoy. Notice how you feel.